So I probably sharded myself when I saw this. Really. And I know you're probably wondering what in the world could Huffington Post have to say that is semi intelligent? Well, Huffington Post posted an article. I know, shocking. But this article is titled Hillary Clinton Lost, Get Over It, and Stop Blaming Russia. WikiLeaks and Fake News. Yes, that's from the Huffington Post. They allowed that to be posted. Stop blaming WikiLeaks. Stop blaming Russia. Stop citing a secret CIA report, especially since the New York Times published an article on October 31st, 2016 titled Investigating Donald Trump. FBI sees no clear link to Russia. Law enforcement officials say that none of the investigations so far have found any conclusive or direct link between Mr. Trump and the Russian government, and even hacking into the Democratic emails. FBI and intelligence officials now believe was aimed at disrupting the presidential election rather than electing Trump. So to touch on that a little bit more, the CIA claims that Russia hacked the DNC in order to help out Donald Trump or to undermine the US election. However, the FBI says there's not a clear connection. The October finding, announced by Director of National Intelligence James Clapperhan, Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson, concluded that the disclosures were intended to interfere with the U.S. election process. The new assessment takes a major step further, indicating that Russia aimed to sway the election in Trump's favor. The conclusion is that the Republican computer systems also may have been breached, but that internal information was not distributed publicly. The Republican Party denies that its computers were hacked. The FBI does not dispute that the CIA's assessment could be accurate, said a U.S. official with knowledge of the matter. The difference lies in the institutional standards the agencies require in reaching such conclusions. While the CIA develops assessments based on broad interpretation of available data, the FBI, as a law enforcement agency, requires a standard of proof that could sustain a possible criminal prosecution. Federal officers, including Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson and FBI Director James Comey, have said that the decentralized nature of the voting systems across the U.S. poses a difficult target for hackers. In our judgment, it would be very difficult to alter a ballot count in any one place and have a significant consequence, Johnson said in an interview last month with USA Today. Hillary supporters, Democrats, regressive liberals, or whatever you want to call them, have actually blamed the Russian government for the hack, claiming that Donald Trump and Putin are buddies. It's funny, because they bring this up as if the hacked emails that were released are no longer valid due to the fact that the emails were illegally acquired. If that is you, ask yourself, say you choose to support a certain presidential candidate. We see a bunch of leaked emails that reveal that this presidential candidate is just, go on a limb with me, or go on a little tangent with me, is a child molester. We see that the presidential candidate is a child molester. They rigged the election against a much better candidate. And you find out that this candidate doesn't even believe a single thing they preach in their speeches. Would you care how the emails were acquired? Seriously, just think about that. Don't pay attention to the fact that my candidate is corrupt and bigoted. Look over here. Someone hacked the emails. Don't you care about that? They're trying to rig the election. Don't you care about that? Whatever. I'll throw a bone here. What if Russia was behind the attacks? It doesn't matter. The emails were leaked. So let's pander a little bit to the whole, oh my god, they're trying to disrupt the election crowd. Did the emails influence the election? As for Russian interference through WikiLeaks, NSA's chief Mike Rogers is quoted on November 21st, 2016 in The Hill, stating DNC emails had little impact on the election. National Security Agency Director Mike Rogers said Sunday that he does not believe the publication of stolen Democratic National Committee emails affected the outcome of the 2016 presidential election. I don't think in the end it had the effect that the hackers had hoped it might. Rogers said during a panel at the Halifax International Security Forum. So we have on record both FBI and NSA completely contradicting the CIA on whether or not Russia was behind the DNC emails. FBI said no, NSA said, well, there's really no evidence. CIA said yes. This article in Huffington Post also went on to defend the Electoral College. But she won the popular vote. Yes, but Clinton raised $1.4 billion and outspent Trump by a margin of 2-1. Also, California is the primary reason Clinton won the popular vote, as stated by Heavy.com. Without California in the popular vote totals, Trump leads the rest of the United States combined by more than 1.87 million popular votes. Hillary Clinton was such an unpopular and polarizing figure, she lost states that for at least 2 decades have been in the back pockets of the Democrats. Clinton lost Wisconsin. The last time Wisconsin voted Republican in a presidential election was 1984. The state voted for Obama in 2008 and 2012. White nationalism had nothing to do with Clinton losing Wisconsin, nor did Russia, fake news, or WikiLeaks. Clinton lost Michigan and Pennsylvania. Michigan and Pennsylvania haven't voted for a Republican nominee since 1988. Both states chose Obama over Romney and McCain. Democrats knew they had to win the Electoral College, so any emphasis on the popular vote ignores why Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin voted for Obama but chose Trump over Clinton. Ultimately, Democrats picked a candidate who faced 2 FBI investigations, low favorability ratings, and Clinton Foundation controversies. It's not the Electoral College's fault Hillary lost, it's the DNC's fault. Although, to really drive my point home, the CIA that pushed the notion that Russia was behind the email attacks, correct? Well, here's the kicker. As of right now, they haven't provided any proof. We're just supposed to believe the Washington Post and the CIA, because we should just blindly trust the government and the media. Senator Angus King states, if you provide proof, you provide a roadmap to show the Russians how we caught them, including intelligence sources and methods. Welcome to 1984. Without any evidence, emails, transcripts, photos, videos, suspects, etc., the CIA and Washington Post have accused Russia of providing WikiLeaks with hacked emails. My favorite part about this article is that the author made an argument I made earlier in this video. The problem with this theory, aside from the pesky issue of evidence, is that Podesta emails involve the actual words of Clinton's campaign. Essentially, Putin had the audacity to interfere by using Clinton's own words and the words of the campaign against Democrats through these words, found within pristine emails in WikiLeaks, DNC, and Podesta releases. W. Wasserman Schultz and 4 other DNC officials resigned from the DNC, and Donna Brazile resigned from CNN. These emails showed Hillary's corruption. They were from Hillary and Hillary campaign staff members themselves. But don't pay attention to that. The emails were hacked. Guys, a law was broken. The emails were hacked. No link between Trump and Russia. No link between Assange and Russia. But Podesta and Clinton involved in selling 20% of U.S. uranium to Russia. Look at that. That is proof that the entire thing was just a setup between Russia and Julian Assange. WikiLeaks set the whole thing up. Because what a great tactic to get WikiLeaks and Russia to work together. What a great way for WikiLeaks to get Russia to trust them by outing that they bought 20% of U.S.'s uranium from Hillary Clinton. This just proves that the whole thing is a giant conspiracy. Did you like that video? Then don't forget to subscribe for more content. Leave a comment about your thoughts or about what you want to see next. Or if you want to call me names for having different political opinions than you, then be my guest. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe.